Now, boys and girls, tell me, do you like snow? This is the time of year that we start to think about snow, and as I mention it, you're probably thinking about the opportunities that you're going to have to play in it when it comes. Maybe building snowmen, getting them all rolled up, and getting the help and making the body and rolling up a smaller ball of snow for the head, and then putting the eyes and the nose and so forth on them. And it's great fun to do that. Or maybe you like throwing snowballs, although that can be dangerous at times. Or maybe you just like making snow angels by lying in the snow and moving your hands about. But I want to ask you another question. I want to ask you, do you think there's going to be a white Christmas? Now let me explain that, because when we think about a white Christmas, we think about Christmas Day with lots of snow and just enjoying the lovely scenery with everything so bright and everything white. And we don't have a white Christmas very often. And sometimes people try to predict whether or not there's going to be a white Christmas. And that's already started this year. A lot of people, and indeed those who are doing the weather forecasting, are saying that really the chances of a white Christmas are very, very slim. They don't think it's likely that there'll be a lot of snow on Christmas. But there might be a few flakes of snow fall in certain places. And apparently, as far as the Met Office is concerned, if there's even a flake of snow falls at a certain place, then it's a white Christmas. That seems a bit silly. But the question I asked to start with, do you think there will be a white Christmas? And really, the answer has to be that we don't know. We can't be sure. Christmas is still quite a long way away. It may only be less than 2 weeks now. But in terms of weather, that's a long time. Even in Northern Ireland, sometimes we can get the weather changing a lot even in one day, let alone 2 weeks. So as far as snow at Christmas is concerned, we simply don't know. But God knows. God knows everything. And that's especially important at this time of year as we think about Christmas. Because God told the people who wrote the Bible to write down certain things that were going to happen. And right back in the Old Testament, God spoke about Jesus and how he was going to be born, and he gave all the details about what was going to happen more than 800 years before Jesus was actually born. Now think about that. That's a very, very long time. If you think about what age you are, and then think, well, let's say you're 10, that means that the length of time that you've lived already, if you were to do that 80 times, that's roughly the length of time that God was able to tell exactly what happened and what was going to happen. It's a very, very long time. And what's more, as we look at the different passages in the Old Testament that talked about Jesus being born, everything that God said would happen actually did happen. Even though it was hundreds of years before, God knew exactly what was going to happen. God knew about Jesus. And one of the things that the Bible tells us would happen is that Jesus came so that we can have peace, that we can be saved. In other words, Jesus came so that we could be forgiven and become a friend again of Jesus. A very special thing that's happening. And that's why Christmas is so important, because we're thinking about Jesus when he was born, and then reminding ourselves of how he died for us, so that we can know God in a very special way, that while he is God, we can say that Jesus is special to us, just like a really, really special friend. Christmas might be very different this year for many of us, but the meaning of Christmas is still the same, and that's what's important. Let's think about that as your hymn is sung. It's called Crackers and Turkeys and Puddings and Cream. Let's worship God.